Now your Super Doppler 10 forecast with meteorologist Christy Stewart.
Well, we are seeing some really big impacts from that nor'easter that will be moving through for us today. We've already seen earlier yesterday some parts of NC-12 that were closed because of ocean overwash, and we expect the same to be happening during high tide today. This afternoon is going to be our worst high tide cycle. So we're looking at having breaking waves 9 to 12 feet for today, 5 to 9 feet Monday, 4 to 7 feet Tuesday. We'll still be staying breezy following this nor'easter as that coastal low will be moving off for us, and then we have high pressure that will be moving in. So we're already pretty windy out there this morning. We have those wind gusts along the coast right now up to about 35 miles per hour, 41 miles per hour for Wallops Island, 32 in Virginia Beach. Inland, you are seeing those winds starting to pick up a little bit more, gusts about 20 to 25 miles per hour. We'll continue to see these winds strong as we head throughout the entire day today along the coast. It looks like we'll be primarily seeing those wind gusts that are around a steady 40 miles per hour, 50 miles per hour for the Outer Banks, 30 miles per hour for our more inland communities. That will be continuing as we head into this evening. It looks like about 35-40 mile per hour gusts along the coast, still about 25-30 mile per hour winds as we're looking a little bit more inland. Heading into the day on Monday, we still stay with these elevated winds, not quite as windy as we're seeing for the day today, but Monday we're looking at having those wind gusts about 25 to 35 miles per hour. So we'll still have a breezy day out there. That will be consisting throughout the entire day of Monday. Now as we head into Tuesday, again, still looking to stay pretty breezy as we are going to be in that transition period between a couple of different systems. So this coastal low will be bringing us some of those strong winds that will be leading to the potential for some power outages today. High profile vehicles, it could be hard for you to drive around, like semi trucks. High wind warning in effect for the eastern shore as well as Virginia Beach until 2 a.m. Monday. Gusts possible up to 55 miles per hour, and a wind advisory along the rest of our coastal communities for those gusts up to 50 miles per hour. Again, it looks like a lot of those winds will be staying around 40 mile per hour gusts, 50 miles per hour for the Outer Banks, but we will still have that potential to see some of those stronger gusts that are a little bit more isolated. Coastal flood warning in effect until 9 a.m. Monday for our coastal communities as we're looking at having 2 to 3 feet of inundation during those high tide cycles. Let's talk about those tides. Major tidal flooding as we're getting into Sunday afternoon around 2 p.m. So that is going to be our worst tidal flooding. Some of these could be setting some new records in a couple of locations. And look at low tide. That's going to be flirting with that nuisance to minor tidal flooding. So we could be seeing in those typical low-lying areas that usually get impacted even by nuisance tidal flooding, they will likely be impassable throughout the entire day today. Then we jump up into that moderate tidal flooding category as we head into your Monday 2 a.m. So that's the middle of the night tonight. After that, we'll see a couple more rounds of some minor tidal flooding that we will be dealing with. So it looks like pretty much a lot of locations are going to be under that major tidal flooding. Here's a list of those spots that are underneath that major flooding category. So we've got some across the eastern shore, the peninsulas, as well as south side. Again, here's that list. It's a long list of those spots that we'll be seeing that major tidal flooding. I want to talk about some spots that could see some new records being set. For Lynnhaven Inlet, your record is 6.28. The original forecast was 6.3. It's dropped down to about 6.2, but that would still take that number 2 spot on record. Now, these records only go back to 2009 for that one spot. To compare what we're seeing today, what we can expect, I know a lot of people were saying September 16th, that storm that we saw, that coastal low about a month ago, that one was some of the worst flooding that they have ever seen. Rightfully so, ranked number 2 on a couple of these spots, 2 or 3. But we'll see tidal flooding a little bit worse than that event. So just put that into perspective to kind of gauge where you're sitting with that tidal flooding. Smithfield, we are going to be seeing the potential to reach that number 1 spot. So the number 1 spot is 4.4 feet, and then that is going to be a forecast of 5.2 for today. Jamestown looks like you could be reaching number 2 on that record. So here's that coastal low currently sitting off the Carolina coastline that will be moving to the north. You can see a little bit of a drier spot there. That's starting to work its way into our northeastern North Carolina communities. So right now, widespread to scattered light to moderate rain. We'll see that continuing for the rest of the morning. As we get into this afternoon, looks like just some more isolated to potentially widely scattered showers out there. As we get into the day on Monday, we'll start off a little bit drier it looks like, but on the backside of that low could be seeing some scattered showers moving through in the evening into the nighttime hours for us. So not as much rain, which is some good news. Those winds are still going to be on the elevated side. And then after we have this system making its way out of here, we've got high pressure that settles in, bringing us a lot of sunshine. Temperatures will be staying cooler in the mid to the upper 60s, couple of low 70s in that 7-day.